again. So what I have here is my Spanish Cavalry Carbine, or what used to be the Spanish Cavalry Carbine. Now it's obviously still a carbine because the length of the firearm hasn't changed, but I've changed certain things. So in celebration, I'm having a Del Centro from Guatemala. Oh yeah, that's very nice. I have been drinking coconut water up till now. I just had like over $3,000 worth of dental work done, so yeah, I'm not all that keen to eat, so I've just been drinking coconut water, and I thought, bugger it, I'll have a beer to celebrate this video. So anyway, originally this thing was in this stock, which is the Cavalry Carbine stock. That's the top wood. It's extremely dark. I don't know exactly what's going on there, that's how it was, why it was so dark. And it is really dark wood, like it is really dark wood, so it was serious black walnut, and then over a period of time just the patina has obviously added to that darkness. Now, one thing I will talk about is pardon me, in the Spanish Cavalry Carbine, they're side mounted, so that's the barrel band. As you see, that one's got the mount down the bottom. The barrel band on the Cavalry Carbine is on the side, like that, and this thing goes in there, and so the sling's on the side, which makes sense, especially if you've got it slung when you're riding or whatever. Now, one person that did express interest, and so I'm a bit proud of myself that I'm actually answering someone who I consider quite an authority, answering a question to him. Now that was a Thias from CNR Arsenal, whatever. So a Thias wanted to know what was holding, and you can see that's pretty chunky. That's a big chunk of steel with a whole slot in it, right? He wanted to know what was holding this in place, and it wasn't easy getting this out. So what was holding in place is essentially like a nail, it looks like. So that was all the way down, and then this thing that nail was in there through that hole. So that's what holds it in place. Plus the fact that it is tapered, so it is a wedge, so it was wedged in there like really tight. It took a lot of persuasion to get this out. Now I haven't mounted it on this one because of all the, well, I'll tell you why I haven't mounted the side sling swivel attachments from the Cavalry Carbine. I've got all the pieces here from the Cavalry Carbine. The butt is different. That's the bullnose originally from the Cavalry Carbine. So there was a bottom sling mount as well as the side mount. That's the what's it called, the saddle ring that goes on the bottom there. That saddle ring goes there. That's the original sight, which is really low, so everything shoots high. So I've got everything. These are the bits and pieces that I cut off this stock. So that's the piece that I cut off that bit. So that was a hell of a lot longer because this was originally supposed to be an M38, Swedish M38 stock. And these are the two bits that I cut off the bottom. And I don't know what the story is here, but the actual stock had been extended at some point to fit the M38, so it must have been a carbine before that, before a carbine, or I don't know, but it was done, it looked like it was done in an armory, but the glue that they used was this black stuff that was soft, like still soft after God knows how many years, 100 years, maybe 100 years or so, 90 years, 80 years, and it was still soft. And because in most glues, over a period of time, they crystallise and become brittle. This stuff, no. I don't know what it was, but it was rubbish. Go away, fly. So anyway, that's the story with that side sling swivel thingo that goes in there, and there's the nail that goes in there. And to get that nail out, I tried pulling on it because it was all the way in, and then I had to just drill holes around it, and then managed to reef it out. Got it loose and reef it out. This thing, I had to literally, so I'll put a bit of a dent in there, where I had to got a big flat tip screwdriver and just smacked it, and eventually got it loose and it came out. It wasn't easy, but yeah. So, all right. I'm not an armourer. I'm not a gunsmith, and I hate working on stocks. I'd much rather work on the steel bits, than the wood, because it's such a pain in the ass. It really is, and it was an ordeal. Let me tell you. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it at all. And I haven't got it perfect. So it isn't totally finished because, and I'll show you why, because originally that portion of the stock was that wide as that, and I pared it down, make it slimmer, but I forgot to pare down the top guard. So at some stage I've got to get in there and pare that down. Yeah, alright. Also, where is it? So the internal there, that barrel, where the barrel met the top guard on the M38 original stock, the barrel was thicker. So when I cut that down, and what I had to do, was get some, just one thickness of ply and put it inside in there, and clamp it in there and glue it in. Yeah, it was a bit of a mission, but I did it. And yeah, so yeah, it's not perfect. The finish that I did do on it is True Oil. Probably about, I don't know, 5-6 coats of True Oil. It has got a bit of a gloss to it, not too much. I don't like it totally satin. I do like a bit of a gloss. So all the furniture on this rifle, it's only the barrel action, the sight, and the bottom metal are original. Everything else is M38 Swede. So the whole stock, everything on the stock is M38 Swede. And they're all 1893 Mausers, so they've all got exactly the same footprint. As far as the action, and the barrels will have slightly different contours depending on the length of the rifle and the year of manufacture and who they made it for, and I suppose something like that. But generally speaking, it's all the same rifle. So that's why I could put a Spanish Cavalry Carbine into an M38 stock, and I'm not sure when this was made, because a lot of the there's no crest when they refurbished this, because it is a 308 Winchester or 7.16 NATO. When they did rebarrel it, they took off all the crests and everything. So I don't know whether it's an Oviedo. It could be an Oviedo made in Spain, or it could be a Ludwig Löwe made in Germany. I don't know. There's no way of telling really. Well, you can have a guess, but so with the band keepers, I've got to do a bit of work on them, actually, because there's a hole through there for the cleaning rod. So what I'll do is I'll have a threaded rod going straight through and holding those keepers in place, because this one is not, it hasn't popped all the way into the, so yeah, Still got to do a little bit of mucking around to get it perfect, but generally speaking, it's pretty good. Two of my buddies, well, Scott, who sold me the stock, and Rick, they said, oh, you know, it's looking really good. And it is. Unfortunately, due to the fact that the M38 had a much bigger lattice sight, there is this massive gaping hole here. Originally it was only that big, but yeah, what do you do? I mean, this does fit perfectly, but yeah, I don't know, it's too dark. You know what I'm saying? I could put this straight on here. It's exactly the same size, but it, oh man, this thing is so dark. I suppose I could try sanding it back and chucking it on. I reckon this one does actually look better, a bit lighter, whatnot. I've just got to pare it back. So anyway, that's the. So what I did was yesterday I went to. What's today? Saturday, yeah. Yesterday I went to the range before I went to the dentist because I had a bit of an. After having a shitload of dental work done, like $2.5 grand worth of dental work done, I came home, and then a day later, one of my old fillings while I was cleaning my teeth, while I was flossing and picking them, one of my old fillings popped out and exposed, like, you know, a nerve pretty much. So I had to go back yesterday and get another filling, get that old filling replaced. So, man, I've spent one kidney's worth on my teeth, which I had to do anyway. I've been sort of neglectful. But anyway, so I went there and I said, I've got to get this done, This was yesterday, Friday, and they said, all right, well, we agreed, but we don't have a slot until 4:30 in the evening or in the afternoon. And I said, yeah, all right, no worries. So, and then I was umming and ahhing, because I was originally going to go to the range anyway. I was umming and ahhing, oh, should I go to the range? Because what typically happens is that there'll be an accident on the highway. It's 100 kilometres away. There'll be an accident on the highway and they'll be stuck there. Last time I was stuck on the other side for 8.5 hours while they were just moving a truck where a guy had a heart attack in it. They were just moving. It took them 8.5 hours just to move the truck off the highway. Like, not even remove it or anything like that. 8.5 hours. So I was really sort of, because I had to get this done because I'm going to work on Monday for a long time. So I thought, oh, should I go to the range? And I thought, yeah, bugger it. You know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I did go to the range, and just to make sure that I hadn't done anything by what I've done to make it into a complete hose, because I buy these things to shoot, not to put in a cupboard to look at and show to my friends and whatnot. I buy them to shoot because I like shooting old guns. Pardon me. So there's a really light load that I made, because the reason why I restocked this thing in the first place is because there's a massive crack down the centre, and some hopeless idiot, and it goes down there as well, goes all the way there on the top and all the way through at the bottom, and some idiot did a really crap job of trying to fix that crack, because these stocks are so much smaller, like they really are. Yeah, there's not a lot to them. This thing's a lot chunkier, like, yeah, a lot chunkier, so that should be alright. But anyway, so there was two loads. There's the really light load of 28.5 grains of AR-2208, and I think they're 150 grain Sierra Game Kings, and there's the ADI manufactured, I think, Buffalo River, whatever it is that I use, which I don't know how many, I don't know what the powder, it'll probably be AR 2208 Varget in it, but I don't know what I haven't taken one apart to check it, but it's a 165 grain Sierra Game King. So at 50 yards with the iPal, so that's, you know, that's just over a couple of inches, that's about 1.5 inches, and that's about a couple of inches. So, you know, I didn't really care where it was shooting, just as long as I could get it on paper so I could see, to make sure that it wasn't hose. And I did it, I went there, I was pretty quick, then I had to go and try and, my dentist says, oh, you got to use Gorilla Floss. Guess what? Can't get it here in town, can't get it in Townsville. I'm gonna have to order it online. But anyway, I might just use braid, just fishing braid, because I have got some really thin braid that doesn't break. In any case, so I've got the sight post changed out. That's a brand new sight post. That's why it was shooting. It was shooting really low. I've got to work on that. I'll do that later, and I'll move it sideways later. But anyway, I just wanted to establish that I hadn't turned it into a complete hose, and I haven't. So I'm happy with that. Anyway, other than that, it's a goer. So it shoots okay. I doubt if I'll replace this. It's way too trim. I would have to take a shitload off the bottom again, and I really don't want to do that. I just want to take a bit off the top to make it match. The top and bottom to match, same thickness. That's about it. Other than that, yeah. So if you have, because apparently this is quite a common problem when they converted it to 7.16 NATO. What happens is that people go around shooting 308 through it, and 308, civilian 308 is supposed to be, apparently it's supposed to be hotter than 7.16 NATO, which I don't know if that's true or not, but quite a common thing for these things to crack, because they are so slim and trim, and there's not a whole lot of meat there. Being a Mauser, they should have a what's it called? A reinforcing rod, whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called now. Like a lot of Mausers do, like 98s do, but these don't. Let's see, what else can I say? That's about it really. So hope you like how it looks. I think it looks peachy. That ring, brass ring that tells you what state the barrel's in for the Swedish Mauser, which has got nothing to do with this. The bore on this is really nice, obviously because they never really used them. Maybe might have been used, highly doubtful. Forgot to tell you, one of the reasons that I think this stock cracked, where's the original? That's the original bolt for the rear action screw. That's the original action screw for the rear. There wasn't enough thread on it. So what was happening is that it was bottoming out, and the actual action was like moving around in that stock. And I don't know where this screw is originally from or what story is there, but with that movement, I wouldn't be surprised if that contributed to the cracking of that original stock. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that. So yeah.